A warm welcome back to my channel. It's Monday. Should have checked. It's Monday the 26th of February. Welcome to week 5 of the Monday Marathon Memoirs as I head towards Manchester Marathon this coming April. So not quite halfway. And following last week's update, things are back on the up. Yes, that's right. I've got to give a big shout out to each and every one of you who left comments, and it's great to see so many of you who do care, because I care when I'm putting the videos out here. So it may be unscripted, unedited, well, unedited apart from the ums and ahs and pauses for thoughts, and I do look at my notes, so I have got some headline notes that I want to go through, but it's been quite a turnaround week. You may have heard of some of these quotes of like, tough times never last, but tough people do. Yeah, and that's what's been happening. It's still tough for me right now, so mentally, psychologically, which has an impact on me physically. But if you've been following me on the Strava, do you follow me on the Strava? The link is in the description below. Follow me on the Strava. You will know there's been some amazing news from last week's training. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yes, back on the podium, winning. That's right. Nothing beats that winning feeling. It helps lift the spirit and everything. But it's not just about coming first winning. It's winning in life as well. So the headlines in terms of mileage or kilometrage, as I call it, this week has been 58.2 kilometers, lower than last week because I had a 10K race on the Sunday instead of a long run, the Borton 10K. Yes, woo! More about that race a little later because I'll start through the week. Yes, as always, it starts off Monday for me, rest days or gym. As I wasn't feeling good at all, I did skip on the gym. In fact, that whole of last week would have been 2 weeks of no gym visits. That's how low energy, depleted, deflated I have felt. And I was in two minds whether to put out that video last week of how can I put it, you know, without sugarcoating it, how shite it has been in more ways than one. Not good. But I'm dealing with the issues in hand, getting to the root cause of the problems, and as you can see from the video, my spirits are very much more uplifted and feeling good. Yes, we're not through the forest, I think they say. You can't see the wood through the trees, but we're making headways, we're making progress. Because as we know, progress is not linear, it's cyclical. Like life, we go round and round, things go up and down, side to side, but we continue to make progress. Excuse me. We continue to make progress onwards and upwards, but there's always going to be downward parts, which is part of the cycle of life, and running is no different. Following the previous week where I don't think I ended up going for any runs without needing a toilet stop, poo stop and all that, which is not good for me. So I was restricting my runs, doing various loops near a toilet. Eventually last week I did have some runs and I've succeeded on doing runs without any toilet stops. So hurrah for me. Yes, great relief. Seriously, great relief. Because when you're out on your long runs and all that type of stuff, you don't want to get caught short. So I did manage to get in some medium long run, and hence the kilometrage for me being high, despite only having a 10K instead of what was on the plan. I think it was 28 to 29K on the plan. So short on the long run, but I think putting the effort in terms of that race, I think it was worth it for me. That's how I felt. Can you see this? Yes, this was the highlights of the week. Sunday, Borton Roadrunners had the Borton 10K, and I've got to give a big shout out to Bazia, who's probably watching. She came out all excited, saw me on there, as a number of you did, came out to say hello, but Bazia in particular was super excited to see me. She's a member of the Borton Roadrunners, and I have to say that event was impeccably organised, brilliant run, and I do love the Cotswolds. It's a beautiful village there in Borton on the Water, and definitely a race I would recommend. I'm not recommending it because I won my age group, and whilst, as you can see, this is an envelope. We could take the mickey because they were sponsored by a jeweller, so I was expecting diamonds in the envelope, but no, it wasn't diamonds, it was money. Yes, so it's good to get the prize money and winning. But in terms of the time I came in, you'll see the results coming on there. It was almost a couple of seconds within the 10K that I'd done 3 weeks before at the Dewsbury 10K. So whilst I've done 3 weeks of training, because of the 2 weeks, and it has been 2 pretty damn awful weeks, I'm only beginning to get back into the running. It's not been good at all. 2 weeks of really bad shit, and to come through that and be able to run, because in terms of the training runs, for those who follow me on the Strava, the tempo runs I've been doing, I could barely get up to a pace of around 4:15 per kilometre, which is what should be my marathon pace, but I couldn't even get beyond that. But somehow, some reason, whatever's going on in my head, brain, body, I have a way of flicking a switch and was able to run some incredibly fast times. Bearing in mind, I'm still just 62, and I'm flattered by the comments I had on Strava of people saying that they've run PBs in their in times of mid-40s, 44 minutes, 45 minutes when they were younger. They're now in their 60s and they can't even begin to imagine how I'm running sub 40-minute 10Ks. Yes, it was another sub 40-minute, but as I say, within a few seconds, Dewsbury with 39:22, so it's literally seconds on that, exactly the same. The only difference with this race, there wasn't 2,500 runners. I think there was over 700 runners, which was apparently their record, and it's brilliant, and I can see why. But a lot of the time when you'll see the footage of the race, I was on my own chasing people. So there was a lot being distanced, so I couldn't run with a group of people or with people. So there was nobody really on my tail, nobody just ahead of me. So a lot of the times I was on my own, which is harder to race that way than when you're with a group of other athletes who are running at similar speeds or marginally quicker that can pull you along and give you that incentive. So I found it mentally and physically quite draining to do that race, but I came in with the results, came away with the first place, and I'm just over the moon. Hopefully this will be a sign that things are getting onwards and upwards, because it's the results that counts, yeah, not just whether we decide to say onwards and upwards. It's the results needs to be showing, and the results are there. My next race isn't until the Droitwich Half Marathon, where I won't be racing it as a half marathon, but I will be using it as training. But I'm very much looking forward to progress with this and the updates, and seeing the heartfelt comments from you all in there. And I know some people were asking, is the legal stuff to do with this, that and the other? It's absolutely nothing to do with running. It's nothing to do with any running organisations. It's so distant from the running scene. It's, yeah. There is other things going on in life outside of running. Yeah, I know. So I'm very much looking forward to this week being week 6. So I'll be halfway through, and then after that, it'll be 6 weeks countdown to Manchester Marathon. It almost looks like I can almost smell it there, where I'm targeting that sub 3 marathon at the age of 62. I know my first ever sub 3. If I do it, I still feel confident I can do it. There's a lot of work to be put in, and I will put the work in. But it's still going to be a lot of jiggy jogs, yeah? A lot of easy stuff, long runs, easy conversational stuff. That's what's needed. And my times on here, whilst I appreciate they're not exactly right, they are indicative of progress being made when the times are coming down. And they'll not be accurate, and you will see in my race video of how accurate they are now, certainly for a 10K race, because obviously that's what I raced. And yeah, it's a bit of fun also. But I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Bye, 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 bye. Yes, did you like that? Unscripted, unedited, straight to you. Yeah, Monday afternoon. And it'll appear on the Monday. No messing here. That's what YouTube's about.